this is what my friend that's in the sorority said. You go out Monday, like, oh my gosh, she's like smacking you. I found great tips. Hi guys, welcome to my U of I first semester recap. I'm kidding. I downloaded TikTok and that is taking up so much screen time and okay, and and some lessons that I want to take on to second semester. So let's get into this video. It's me and so if you've watched my last video, getting rejected to like all my dream schools and like, oh yeah, you should watch that if you got rejected to anywhere, or like just some college tips that I have. So U of I, let's talk first semester. I made it very clear that U of I was not like my choice of school, and I really wanted it to be my choice of school, obviously, because everyone kept on gushing about how good it was. But my reasoning was because I wanted to get thrust into a newer environment. That held very true. Like as I went into U of I, like just getting into U of I, woot woot. And then as I went in, I was like, oh, maybe this could be my school where I challenge myself, where I grow, right? Yeah, I did grow, and yeah, I did challenge myself, but ultimately it wasn't like a new environment for me. Let me just preface this. I am the person that's like kind of crackhead energy without being on crack, I guess. And I know a lot of people just because I like to reach out to people and like, hi, like I'm very much like, she's like, you're not actually weird, you're just normal and social. And I'm like, yeah, I'm social, let's just say that. No, I'm kidding, I'm social. Okay, so that was, yeah. So I went in knowing a lot of people from like badminton, from like Instagram, or like from what's it called, school even, and Chinese school and badminton, like outside of school badminton too. So I knew a lot of people going to U of I, and I would see them everywhere, even though there's like 40,000 kids at this school. And so yeah, there ended up being like someone I knew living across from me, which was not the best situation because I really wanted to branch out and not really get stuck in that high school bubble, which U of I has a high school bubble. Every state school will have that high school bubble where you just grab onto anyone that feels familiar, anyone that's similar to you. And it's really like a Hunger Games, but not really, because my life didn't depend on it. I mean, maybe. I'm kidding. So the thing is, right, for U of I like didn't feel a lot of people wanting to branch out after like the first week or something like that. It like seems like that just because people want to seem like they have solid groups. Oh, hello. And hi, do you want to say hi to the camera?
Are you filming a video?
Yeah. Oh, first semester, my little sister and my dad came to visit me a lot, especially for like dance weekend and like volleyball games, which also did not help me get thrust into a new environment. This is my favorite bean. And
okay, but you also come back like every single week
now, because I have nothing to do as a business major. Hello. Where was I? Okay, yeah, not a new environment. It felt like I knew everyone, and it felt like I couldn't reinvent myself into someone else. And at this point, I was like rushing business fast. You can see that in my transitioning to college thing. That one, yeah, my failures really hit me the hardest. I don't know, when you get judged on like, oh, like something that you've like worked hard for, or even like your appearances, it just makes you psychologically unstable almost. But yeah, I was going out a lot. My dad knew I was going out a lot, like he's fine. And yeah, I really went out, not like sorority level. I didn't decide to rush a sorority just because I don't know, I thought that like it wasn't the culture for me personally. And looking back, I definitely could have rushed a sorority. Even my coaches told me to rush a sorority. Like they were like, oh, you could totally fit in. But as people were going through the process, they told me it felt like very superficial, and like, but like now that they're like in their houses, some of them love them, but some of them are waiting till like sophomore year to live in-house and get closer with them. I'm just like, it's really a toss-up with sororities, and I felt like I could really find my people without paying $1,000 a semester plus. So yeah, more on that later maybe a video. I'm really grinding out the videos right now. I'm feeling a surge of inspiration to really do what I want to do. Yeah. Oh, so another thing, I went through the most drama that I have ever went through with like friends, with like dorm people, with like boys that I've ever gone through in my whole entire life. Like in my whole entire life, I've never been in this much drama. I'm usually that middleman that's like, oh, I'm out. I'm like literally out of this. But yeah. So yeah, I definitely tethered myself to a friend group at the beginning because I like, it wasn't like I really wanted to, but it was like I fit in there and we got to know each other there and it was fine. And there's drama with that. It was just kind of like someone accused me of doing something that I didn't. And like, obviously I expressed my feelings. I'm like, oh, this made me, she did this and that made me feel like blah, right? But it was taken like, oh my gosh, she's like smacking you. And I'm like, oh, okay, let's take it this way. Like, if you just want to do this, just fine, whatever. Like, don't give me a chance to defend myself. I'm fine. No, okay. That went down. Guy drama went down. And because it's so tethered to like high school, a lot of people came back into my life. And I'm like, I love high school people. And like, but like from like other friend groups, I was just kind of like, oh, okay, weird. And also, sorry to say this, but I look like, I'm not trying to pretend that I'm not Asian, but like I look international, and there's some type of discrimination towards international students. Now let me just preface this and say diversity and inclusion are two different things, okay? Diversity just means like, oh, you have a bunch of people from like different backgrounds. But at U of I, those backgrounds, especially freshman year, they tend to like grasp together, like Asians, internationals, and then like, you know, like they just all tend to go towards people that are similar to them. And I was told that this would get better sophomore year, which I'm very optimistic about because I really want to meet new people. Like I need like, that's just me. But yeah, so then let me tell you about, yeah, so I have never tried to actively dress like I was like not international. Like, it's weird because I went to an all-white high school, like not all white, but like it was like no diversity, like not even diversity. It wasn't even like that. In that way, I felt included, you know, like I had a lot of Caucasian friends, and then I had my Asian friends on the side. Sorry. And that was good for me. But coming to U of I felt a dichotomy between like races, you know, like minorities tended to stick together. And I don't know if that's, they've like become secluded or whatnot. But it was really weird, especially in my B101 class. All the international students sat together, Asians, African Americans, and then white people sat together. And it was just like mind-boggling because in high school I'd never had this. So I like felt like I had to choose. And that, yeah. And also I was explaining this all to my teachers and they're like, yeah, this happens. And I'm like, oh, thanks. Like, yeah, honestly, what you can do for someone is just validate kind of where they're coming from. And that's just kindness and respect, even if you really at the end don't agree with what they're saying, I guess. Yeah. And I felt none of that from my whatever. Okay, so the dichotomy, it really exists. So when I go out to like frat parties with my Asian friends, like there will be less like men approaching, I guess. But when I go with like my white friends or something, there will be like a lot of people like trying to interact with us and stuff. Like it's just like we seem more approachable by like white people over white. And like in this way, Asians really tend to go to a lot of Asian frat parties, which there are only like a few. I don't know. Greek life really annoyed me for a little bit just because it seemed like the only thing that you could do to have fun, and like bars, I guess. And really, U of I does have that type of vibe. My friend from Wisco came, which is another like big party, big like state school, but she's like, it's so much better there. Like, because there's like less kids from Illinois, one, and then number two, it was just like there's more to do than just drink. So this is what my friend that's in the sorority said. You go out Monday, Tuesday, skip Wednesday, go out Thursday, Friday, Saturday, skip Sunday. And that's just not like something that I want to live, like I personally wanted to do. And that brings on another point. For me, I have really been like a people pleaser, and it's harming me just because sometimes my choices don't feel like my own. And I'm battling between like kind of like living for other people versus living for myself. And obviously when you like become older, you need to start living for other people, such as like my dad lives for me and my little sister as well as him, but he prioritizes us a lot too. And I'm just kind of like, obviously you don't want to do things at the end that will only make your friends and family happy. I'm saying like your career choice is yours, or like this is yours, but there comes a point where you just have to, based on your gut, do stuff. And that was not it for me. I like asking other people's opinions before I jump into everything. I'm very much an overthinker, so I'm very much struggling with that right now. Yeah, that's just the teases. I learned the frat boy thing. I legit saw a frat guy go like this, like going to approach someone. I haven't seen this yet, but you know, at the end of all this, I found like great friends, and I hope like, obviously like your group's never gonna be set, but I just enjoy hanging out with them right now. And I think, oh, here are some lessons I've learned from college. Appreciate where you are, even though it might not be where you want to be. And yeah, college is what you make of it. You can watch my other video, but like, honestly, you only get to live your freshman year once, unless you transfer to another college, but you only get that freshman year once. And life's too short to care what other people think. Life's too short to like not go out and have fun, or like life's too short to not go out and stay in and study for that test, or life's not too short. Life's too short, sorry. Oh my gosh. Yeah, life's really short if you think about it. And I guess nothing's a waste of time, like I've mentioned in my other video. You can see my philosophy behind that. But honestly, you want to live life how you want to live it. At the end of all of this, college is 4 years of your life. It's a process, it's life, and go out and live it. With that being said, I found great tips that helped me, or are gonna help me, which I want to implement. So my thing is having a F-bank. So this is, let's just say this is my bank. I don't put stickers on my laptop. I just can't, I literally can't see this with stickers on it, just because it's like so sweet, you know? Okay, so let's just say I have 3 F's to give. Pursue that again. Like going in, getting rejected from like dance groups. Obviously they've been on like World of Dance. Like what was I expecting? You know, and getting like rejected from business rats. I forgot that I'm a human and I have my hobbies, and school and family and friends is not all that I want to do. There comes a point where I have to care for myself too. And through that, I literally listen to Mozart and paint, even though it's shitty. I am going to try to play badminton next semester and kind of rekindle that. And also, I'm going to try to dance more. Also, I think I've gained the freshman 15. I have not worked out. Like, I've worked out maybe 4 times in my semester. Take that how as you will. Dorm food, not that great. It's hit or miss. Yeah, that was my first semester in a nutshell, I guess. Thanks, U of I. Peace. Oh, also with all those problems that I mentioned before, like the social ones, they exist at other schools as well, especially big state schools, as I've mentioned, but anywhere. And my friend at Notre Dame didn't notice it as much, but anywhere you will have, like, like this learning curve in college, especially freshman year, and it takes your time to really, sometimes you'll find your group, sometimes that's like meant to be, like that'll click, and sometimes you just have to float around and see what's best for you, which is what I'm doing right now. And all in all, just make the best you can out of every day. You don't want to go on living every day without being like, I have experienced it to the full, you know? So yeah, maybe that means watching Netflix in your bed, or maybe that means going out and finally taking that dance class that you've always wanted to take. Yeah. So I did think of transferring, obviously. And at the end, I decided that was not the best idea, just because I passed out of math at U of I, and I was like, I don't want to take math anywhere else. And I think I just might give it a shot, I guess. The first semester was definitely rocky, but it's rocky for a lot of people. Like, a lot of people. I, like, talked about this to, like, a lot of people. And it's like that for everyone, I guess. And at other schools as well. And to varying degrees, of course. Especially like Notre Dame is probably like here, U of I is like, and then like schools are like in the middle or like higher, especially like ISU. Yeah. So I decided against transferring. Transferring did seem like a good idea because I would be thrust in a completely new environment. But then transferring, you kind of need to get used to the groups as well and join your own group. And it's gonna be freshman year all over again. Yeah. So thank you for joining me today, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Join me back in my next video.